They invited her to laugh at her, not to welcome her, not to reconnect, not to reminisce. No, the message hidden between their fake smiles and sugary words was clear. Come to the reunion so we can see how much of a failure you still are. And they thought she wouldn't notice. They thought she wouldn't remember the snickers behind her back, the whispers in the hallway, the accidental bumps, the cruel nicknames. Library rat. Nobody. Background girl. But Maya Rivers remembered everything. What they didn't know, what nobody knew, was that the girl they once mocked for thrift store shoes and hand-me-down sweaters was no longer the girl walking barefoot through life. Time had carved her into something sharper, stronger, unrecognizable. But she didn't tell them that when she clicked yes on the reunion invite. She didn't need to. Revenge wasn't her reason for coming back. Closure was. She simply wanted to see them. Those people who once defined her worth. One last time. And walk away forever. But fate had a different plan. And it began the moment the wind shifted. The sun dipped behind the school's old football field. Dozens of former classmates gathered near the entrance, laughing loud enough to fill the warm night air. Their expensive dresses and tailored suits screamed success. Becky, former Queen Bee, leaned against her champagne-colored car, snapping photos as she smirked at her friends. I swear, Becky laughed, she'll probably show up in the same ugly shoes she wore in ninth grade. Her friends burst into laughter. And that hair, someone added. Remember how it looked like she cut it herself? More laughter. More cruelty. Because 10 years hadn't taught them anything. Becky checked her watch. Of course she's late. Maya was always slow. Slow at talking. Slow at walking. Slow at life. Maybe she's scared. Another whispered, sipping wine from the back of her SUV. Maybe she realized she's still a nobody. Becky shrugged. Honestly, I hope she shows up. I could use another laugh. Her friends giggled cruelly. That's when the ground began to vibrate. At first, it was faint, a soft tremble beneath their designer heels. Is that earthquake? Someone murmured nervously. But then the wind changed. A deep rumble rolled across the field. Heads turned. Becky squinted. What the hell is that? The rumble grew louder. Stronger. Then the sky darkened as a sleek black helicopter cut through the clouds, its blades chopping the air with a sound that made every conversation stop. All heads tilted upward. Someone gasped. No way is that. The helicopter descended lower, kicking up wind so strong that dresses flew, hairstyles collapsed, and napkins scattered across the parking lot like panicked birds. Teachers stepped outside. The principal rushed forward, eyes wide. People shielded their faces with their arms. The helicopter touched down slowly, gracefully, like something out of a movie, not a reunion. Becky blinked. Who? Who the hell arrives by helicopter? Her friend stared, stunned. The door opened. A boot stepped out first. A black stiletto. Then a long leg. Then a silhouette framed by spinning blades and flashing lights. Hair flowing like a magazine cover. The figure stepped onto the pavement. Tall, stunning, glowing beneath the helicopter lights. The wind died down just enough for everyone to see her clearly. And the entire parking lot fell silent. Because the class loser, the nobody, the background girl they once mocked, was standing in front of them like a woman carved from confidence and fire. Maya Rivers. Her dress shimmered. Her hair fell in perfect waves. Her posture radiated a quiet power. She didn't smile. She didn't wave. She simply looked at them. All of them. With the calm eyes of someone who didn't need their approval anymore. Becky's mouth hung open. No, freaking way, she whispered. Maya stepped forward, her heels clicking like a countdown. Every heartbeat in the parking lot synced with each step she took. And when she finally stopped in front of Becky, the wind tugged at her hair just enough to make her look like a movie star. Becky forced a laugh. Well, Maya, look at you. Maya tilted her head slightly. Becky swallowed. You came in a helicopter? Maya's expression didn't change. Yes. Why? Becky asked, almost squeaking. Maya stepped closer, eyes steady, voice calm. Because I got tired of arriving places small. Becky swallowed hard. Maya's gaze swept across the group, the very people who had once crushed her confidence. Not anymore. Now, they couldn't even speak. And for the first time in her life, Maya wasn't looking up at them. They were looking up at her. For a long, breathless moment, nobody moved. Maya stood still, the helicopter's wind settling behind her like a ghost that refused to be forgotten. Her eyes scanned the crowd of faces, Faces that once sneered at her, snickered at her, made her doubt every inch of herself. Now those same faces couldn't look directly at her without flinching. Becky tried to break the silence with a shaky laugh. So, Maya, you look different. Different. Not beautiful. Not successful. Not powerful. Just different. The safest word a jealous person could find. Maya arched one eyebrow, her expression calm, almost bored. 10 years will do that. Becky forced a stiff smile. Yeah, well, someone cleaned up nicely. Her friends giggled, but it wasn't the cruel laughter Maya remembered. It was nervous, uneasy, like prey laughing in front of a predator. A guy from the back, Jason, the former football captain, stepped forward, eyes wide. Maya Rivers? Like, the Maya Rivers? No way. Is that seriously you? She turned her head slightly. You remembered my name. He scratched the back of his neck. Well, yeah. I mean, people talk. Do they? Oh, absolutely. His tone shifted, curious, hungry. I mean, you're everywhere online. Articles, interviews, TED Talks. That startup thing. Maya didn't respond. Becky's brows furrowed. Startup thing? She repeated sharply. What startup thing? Jason blinked. You seriously don't know? Becky stiffened. And no. I mean, I haven't seen her in 10 years. How would I know? Her friends exchanged uneasy glances. Jason stepped closer to Maya, eyes wide with recognition. You're the founder of Nimbus AI. A ripple of shock cut through the crowd. Soon-to-be murmurs, gasps, whispers of, no way. That's her. The tech company? The one sold for how much? My brother applied there 5 times. She's worth millions. Becky's face drained of all color. Nimbus AI, she whispered. That's your company? Maya blinked once. My team's company, she corrected softly. Becky choked on her breath. But Nimbus is huge. It's famous. They say the founder is some genius recluse who never shows her face, Maya finished, her tone gently slicing. Yes, people make up stories when they don't know the truth. Becky swallowed hard. But you? You were. She didn't finish the sentence. Because every ending she wanted to say, poor, awkward, invisible, pathetic, echoed too loudly inside her own skull. Maya didn't help her. She just waited. Becky forced a nervous smile. Okay, well, congrats. I mean, seriously. Great for you. But showing up in a helicopter? Her laugh cracked. Kind of dramatic, don't you think? Maya stepped closer, slow, graceful, unbothered. The wind tugged at her hair, making her look almost unreal in the glow of the parking lights. She spoke softly. You invited me here to embarrass me. Becky's jaw clenched. No, Maya didn't blink. You sent the invitation publicly. Tagged everyone. Added a smiley emoji next to my name. Her expression remained calm, but her eyes sharpened. You even wrote, hope you finally made something of yourself. Becky opened her mouth, but no sound came. Her friends shrank behind her. Maya continued, voice soft enough to be dangerous. I knew what this was. I knew why you wanted me here. She paused, letting the moment breathe. And I came anyway. Becky swallowed. Why? Maya smiled. Not smug, not cruel. Just honest. Because the girl you bullied would have stayed home. Becky blinked, confused. But the woman I became. Maya stepped closer, her heels clicking like a clock counting down. Would never give you that kind of power again. Silence. Someone near the back exhaled shakily. Another whispered. She's not afraid of them at all. Becky's face twisted, pride bleeding into panic. Well, if you're so successful now, Maya, why haven't we heard from you? Seen you? You just disappeared. Maya nodded calmly. I had nothing to prove. Her words fell like stones. Then she added, to any of you. Becky's friends shifted uncomfortably, shame creeping in around the edges. Jason stepped forward, rubbing his neck. Maya, I'm really sorry for how we treated you back then. Maya turned toward him. I accept your apology. Becky blinked. What? You forgive him, but not me. Maya looked at her gently. You haven't apologized. The parking lot seemed to hold its breath. Becky opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again. But no apology came. Not because she wasn't sorry, but because pride was still choking her. Maya turned away, done with the conversation. She was different now. Walking away didn't feel like losing. It felt like freedom. But as she moved toward the school entrance, head held high, Becky suddenly snapped. So what, Maya? You're rich now. Big deal. Her voice trembled. But money doesn't erase who you used to be. Maya paused, then slowly turned back. Her expression softened, profoundly. No, she said quietly. Success doesn't erase the past. She took one step forward. But kindness does. The crowd watched, breathless. Maya continued, voice steady, eyes clear. I didn't come to show off. I didn't come to get revenge. I came to show the girl I used to be that she survived everything she thought would break her. Becky stared, chest rising and falling, tears gathering, just barely. But Maya wasn't finished. And I came to show the people who hurt her. She looked Becky directly in the eyes. That they can't hurt her anymore. Becky turned away, blinking fast, her friends suddenly silent. And Maya walked past them, toward the entrance, heels clicking like a victorious heartbeat. The night wasn't over. Not even close. Because inside the reunion hall, another shock waited. One that would make everyone question everything they thought they knew about her. The moment Maya stepped into the gymnasium, the entire reunion froze mid-laugh, mid-drink, mid-gossip. It was like someone pressed pause on a movie. Music thumped faintly from the speakers. String lights glowed softly along the bleachers. Old banners hung crooked from the ceiling. But nobody noticed any of it. All eyes were locked on her. Maya Rivers, the girl nobody invited to sit at their lunch table, walked in with the quiet presence of someone who had rebuilt herself from the ashes they left her in. Her heels clicked against the old wooden floor. Each sound echoed like a heartbeat. Tap, tap, tap. Whispers erupted instantly. Is that her? Oh my God, look at her. She looks unreal. No way that's Maya. She glows. A group of former popular kids straightened their posture, smoothing their dresses and adjusting their jackets, as if appearances could erase the way they once treated her. It couldn't. Maya walked toward the check-in table, where Mrs. Hanley, the former school principal, stood with a clipboard. The old woman's eyes widened. Maya, she whispered. Maya smiled warmly. Hi, Mrs. Hanley. The principal reached out and took her hands. Oh, sweetheart, look at you. You're beautiful. Maya flushed, humbled. Thank you. Mrs. Hanley stepped closer. I'm so proud of you, she said quietly, voice trembling with sincerity. I watched you walk these halls alone. I saw how they treated you. Maya swallowed. You did. Mrs. Hanley nodded slowly. And I wanted to help you. But every time I tried, you'd smile and tell me you were okay. She cupped Maya's cheek gently. I knew you weren't. I never forgot you, Maya. Maya blinked back unexpected tears. But then Mrs. Hanley added something that froze the entire room. When your story made the news last year, I recognized you instantly. Every head snapped up. The news. Dozens stiffened, remembering articles they'd skimmed on their phones. Young woman develops AI that revolutionizes medical diagnostics. Tech genius Maya Rivers creates algorithm that saved thousands of lives. The mind behind Nimbus AI. Anonymous founder identified after record-breaking deal. People had seen the headlines. They just never connected them to her. Maya stood still, heart pounding. Mrs. Hanley's voice softened. You didn't just build a company. You saved people, Maya. More whispers exploded. That was her. No way she built that. She saved lives. I read about that story. She's like a national hero. Becky, who had slipped into the gym moments earlier, felt her knees weaken. And Maya, did you really? Maya didn't turn. She didn't have to. Her silence answered everything. But then Mrs. Hanley continued, gently, proudly, but loudly enough for everyone to hear. And I sent something to your parents the day that article came out. Maya froze. My parents, she whispered, breath catching. Mrs. Hanley nodded. Yes, a copy of your article. And a letter. Maya felt her stomach twist. What letter? The principal inhaled deeply. The one I wrote when you graduated. The letter I never gave you. Maya's heart dropped. What did it say? Mrs. Hanley squeezed her hand. That you were the bravest student I ever taught. The room fell silent again. Completely silent. Becky covered her mouth. Jason blinked back shame. Old classmates lowered their eyes. But Mrs. Hanley wasn't finished. I told them that the girl they thought was quiet, strange, shy, was actually surviving cruelty no child should face. Maya's throat tightened painfully. Mrs. Hanley looked directly into her eyes. I wanted them to know that I believed in you. That one day, you would leave this place and become someone extraordinary. A single tear slipped down Maya's cheek. The principal wiped it gently. I was right. The room broke again. Gasps, soft murmurs, and shame-burned faces. Becky took a shaky step closer. Maya, but Maya didn't face her. Instead, she looked around the room, at faces frozen in guilt, embarrassment, and disbelief. She took a breath. When I was 16, she said softly, her voice carrying despite its gentleness. I prayed for one person, just one, to tell me I mattered. Her eyes glistened. I never got that. Not once. Everyone stood still. But now, she continued, looking up with a steady, confident calm. I don't need it. Her voice was soft, but it cut deeper than any scream ever could. I learned to matter to myself. A hush washed over the room. Not awkward, not hostile, but aching, because they finally saw what they destroyed, what she rebuilt, who she became. Then Maya smiled faintly, standing taller. But I didn't come back to make anyone feel bad, she said quietly. I came back to say goodbye. Another shockwave hit them. Goodbye? Becky whispered. Goodbye to who? Maya turned slightly, eyes shimmering with something almost peaceful. To the girl I used to be, she said. It was a moment so raw, so vulnerable, that a few people wiped their eyes without even realizing it. But just when the room began to breathe again, the gym doors opened, and a new figure walked in. Tall, sharp suit, confident stride, curious expression fixed on Maya. Whispers erupted instantly. Who is that? He's gorgeous. Is he famous? Is that? Maya turned toward the man, and everyone watched her expression change. Eyes softening, lips curving into a real smile for the first time that night. Becky's mouth dropped. Maya, who is he? Maya breathed out, warmth touching her features. He's the person, she said softly, who made me realize I wasn't alone after all. Becky blinked rapidly. You're with someone? Maya smiled. More than that. The man reached her side, placing a gentle hand on the small of her back. She leaned into him effortlessly, naturally, like someone who had been loved deeply, safely, for years. The room held its breath. He stepped forward, and everything, was about to change. Gasps rippled through the gym as the man approached Maya. Tall, confident, sharply dressed in a midnight black suit that probably cost more than most people's cars. He carried himself like someone used to power, someone used to attention, someone used to being the center of a room. Yet the moment he reached Maya, all that confidence softened into something quiet, something warm. Sorry I'm late, he murmured, his voice low and smooth, the kind that turned every head in the room. Maya smiled, really smiled, in a way that made half the room forget how to breathe. You're right on time, she whispered. The crowd leaned in. Whispers buzzed like static. Who is he? Her boyfriend. He looks like someone important. He looks expensive. Becky stepped forward, face pale, voice shaking. And Maya, who is this? Maya didn't answer immediately. Instead, the man wrapped a protective arm around her waist, subtle, but claiming her in a way no one could challenge. He looked directly at Becky. I'm Adrian Stone. The gym went silent. Dead silent. As in, did he just say? No, that can't be. Wait, the Adrian Stone? Yes, that Adrian Stone. The billionaire tech investor. The youngest Fortune 500 CEO in the state. The man who made headlines for buying companies before breakfast. Becky staggered backward. Why you're Maya's what? Business partner. Adrian smiled politely, but there was steel beneath it. No, I'm her husband. The entire gym erupted into gasps so sharp they felt like broken glass. Husband? Maya? Married to him? There's no way. Oh my God, she married up. She married so up. Becky's jaw dropped open so wide it almost hit the floor. Why you married him? Maya looked at Adrian with warmth that made the whole room ache. Yes, she said softly. We've been married for 2 years. Becky stumbled another step. But how? Adrian's eyes narrowed, not unkind, but with a warning edge. Maya isn't someone you mock into the ground and expect to stay there. He took her hand gently. She built Nimbus AI on her own, but I invested in her because she was the smartest person in every room she stood in. He lifted her hand to his lips, kissing her knuckles. I just got lucky enough that she loved me back. Maya looked down, cheeks warm, as the entire gym stared in stunned silence. Becky felt sick. Oh my God, she whispered, voice cracking. You're richer than all of us combined. Adrian raised an eyebrow. Money didn't change Maya. His voice softened. She already had everything she needed. Talent, kindness, resilience. He turned to the crowd. You're all seeing her now, but she was always this person. You just didn't look deep enough. People shifted uneasily, shame creeping down their spines. Maya spoke then, quiet but powerful. I didn't come here to prove anything, she said. I didn't come to show off my life or my success. She looked around at the familiar faces, older now, polished, but still carrying traces of the cruelty she once endured. I came here, she said softly, to show the girl I used to be that she grew up to be someone she needed. Silence. A heavy, emotional silence that wrapped around the whole room. And to tell all of you, she continued, that the person you mock today could be the person you need tomorrow. Someone sniffled. Someone else looked down at their feet. Adrian pulled her closer with a gentle smile. And for the record, he added, Maya didn't arrive in a helicopter to impress anyone. Becky scoffed weakly. Then why? Adrian looked directly at her. Because she came straight from a keynote speech in New York. She didn't want to be late to her reunion. Maya smiled softly. I didn't want to miss my chance to let go of the past. Becky's lips trembled. I don't know what to say. Maya looked at her calmly. You don't have to say anything. She paused. I just hope you grew, Becky. That's all. Becky nodded slowly, tears finally escaping the corners of her eyes. And for once, she didn't hide them. Maya turned back toward Adrian. Can we go now? She whispered. He smiled and brushed a strand of hair from her face. Whenever you're ready. Maya took one last look at the gym, at the faces that once made her feel small, at the ghosts of who she used to be, at the memories that no longer had any power over her. She didn't feel anger, or bitterness, or triumph. She felt free, completely free, and as she walked out with Adrian's hand in hers, past the stunned faces, past the silent whispers, past the girl she once was, her heart settled peacefully. She no longer needed their approval. She never did, because the only person she ever needed to become was herself. If this story touched your heart, share it, because kindness doesn't always wear a smile, and heroes don't always wear uniforms. Sometimes, they walk in covered in dust, carrying stories that could change your heart forever.